A plane suddenly had an accident and crashed into a mountain village. The man immediately asked the villagers to call the police, and he himself went up to check. With a glance, he found that both pilots had their heads blown off by bullets. Everyone was so scared that they stepped back. Suddenly, a group of mercenaries came. The villagers clearly called the police, but what came were well-trained top mercenaries. The man named Draven. Caden recognized him at a glance, but Draven didn't recognize the villager Caden. He started to question the three of them. Caden told the doctor not to talk nonsense, however his silence made Draven sense something was wrong. Without saying a word, he sent him to his death. If he handed it over, he would definitely be killed to silence him, so he pretended to be a villager and claimed to know nothing. But Draven didn't want to let anyone go. Just as he was about to order his subordinates to shoot, the man was directly hit. The man not only took out several subordinates, but also quickly hid in the jungle. Draven immediately sent people to stop him, but they didn't know that this was Caden's territory. After a while, Caden drove a jeep from behind and successfully rushed out of the jungle. Caden is a retired special agent. 5 years ago, when executing a mission, he fell in love with the mission target. Since then, the two of them have lived a secluded life. Although life is boring, it is at least peaceful. Having dinner with the villagers every month is the biggest social activity for the two of them. One day, Caden and Aurea were having a pleasant dinner with their neighbors. Suddenly, a loud noise came from outside. After examining the pilot's abdomen, he directly took out a dagger. Sure enough, he found a USB drive in his body. His intuition told him that this must be something very important. Just as the man was about to evacuate, a group of mercenaries came over, and that's how the scene at the beginning happened. On the other side, Aurea, his wife at the resort, heard the gunshots. With her intuition as a killer, immediately pulled her companion away from the window. Since her foot was injured and she couldn't walk independently, the two had to temporarily hide in the mountain village. Aurea smashed the mirror. She chose a suitable piece and handed it to the man, and she herself returned to the room, put on the equipment, and burned all the information. At the same time, Caden's superior learned of his existence through the walkie-talkie, so he sent out the organization's strongest agent. He is King. King and Caden used to be brothers, who had each other's backs through life and death. Now the two are on opposite sides because of their different stances, and they are standing on opposite sides. Caden hid behind the car. He knocked down the motorcyclist with one blow. Then, he got on the motorcycle and fled the place. After that, he came to the town to look for combat resources. At the same time, Cain also arrived at the other side of the town. The mercenaries have surrounded the mountain village. They sneaked into the room to search for the hostage. Aurea stood in the corner waiting for the prey to take the bait. "It's you who do it." After a short while, 3 mercenaries were killed by Aurea's knife. Caden, who returned to the base, called his superior. He lied that Draven had retrieved the USB drive. As long as he was given a few hours, he could help his superior get the USB drive back. As a condition, he needed his superior to recall Cain and let him go after the mission was completed. After changing the phone with his wife, Caden then called his wife. He told Aurea about his experience. The two made an appointment to meet at the old place. Caden asked his wife to go first. He would go to find her after handling the current matter. And the matter he mentioned was Cain. At this moment, Cain was living right across from him. The organization didn't recall Cain. Instead, it asked him to kill Caden and kill his wife together. Then, he entered Caden's room with a gun, but he came up empty-handed. When he returned to his own room, unexpectedly, Caden had been waiting there for a long time. After being apart for 5 years, the old friends met again. Unexpectedly, it was in such a situation. Cain habitually opened a bottle of vodka. He handed Caden a glass. Caden, who was highly vigilant, didn't drink it. Then the two of them got straight to the point. Caden proposed to cooperate with Cain. He could help the organization get the USB drive. He just needed Cain to go to the mountain village with him and rescue his wife. Cain thought about it but didn't directly agree. Instead, he pretended to go to the bathroom to freshen up. In fact, he was preparing poison. When he came out, Caden aimed a gun at him. "We're old acquaintances and you're still playing such tricks. I've got you all figured out." Caden destroyed the poison. At this time, the sound of an engine came from downstairs. It was Draven's men who had come. Now the two of them had to cooperate. Each of them only had one weapon. Whoever rushed up first would die first. Seeing that the other side had heavy weapons in hand, the mercenaries didn't dare to go up easily either. They had to wait for their boss Draven to come. Aurea, who received the order, came to the mountain village to rescue the detained hostage. She killed the guarding soldier with one knife. Her companions, who heard the commotion, rushed over. A soldier went up to check the situation. As expected, so the team leader led them to attack from another exit. Aurea, who was hiding in the dark, took them out one by one. Just as Aria was searching for supplies, the team leader showed up behind her with his men. He then ordered his men to search her. After a fierce fight, only the team leader was left. Aria, who had consumed most of her strength, naturally couldn't match the tall and powerful team leader. The team leader tied her up, then took away the communication device on her chest and made her send a message to Kaden to hand over the USB drive. Helpless Aria could only do as she was told, but they didn't know the code Aria entered was a self-destruct code. Finally, the team leader was silenced by Aria with a knife to his throat, and during her fight with the team leader, she was slashed in the abdomen. On the other side, Draven came downstairs to Kaden's place, seeing his subordinates hiding in the corner and not daring to go forward. He immediately shot and killed them to set an example. And Kane upstairs had a devious plan in mind. Unexpectedly, he still had a vial of poison hidden in his chest. He made an excuse that he couldn't reach his back and wanted Kaden to give him a hand. Kaden didn't think much and went up to help. They didn't have much time left. Kane damaged the power grid. Draven ordered his subordinates to attack without discrimination. After a fierce bombardment, a group of people rushed into the building. The enemies were in the open and they were in the dark. The two of them just needed to wait for the right moment. The old friends once again joined hands to cooperate. They easily dealt with the incoming enemies. But when they broke through the door, the USB drive on Kaden fell out. Kane, who got the USB drive, left alone, leaving Kaden to deal with the situation alone. He held a heavy weapon and easily took care of the soldiers in front of him. Then, he cut in from the side and eliminated several enemies. And the grenade that hadn't been thrown landed at his feet. When Kaden came to his senses, Draven took his time to clean up the mess. Kaden said that the USB drive had been taken away by Kane. From the conversation, it was learned that it turned out that Draven had also been betrayed by the Love Bureau. He killed two pilots, and the USB drive is the handle of the Love Bureau. Now the two of them have a common goal. They put aside their hatred for the time being and jointly deal with King to get the USB drive back. After learning that King had got the USB drive, the CIA started the cleanup work. They dispatched drones to start the sweep. Aria carried all the soldiers' bodies together, and she herself hid under the bodies. Just then, two drones began to act. One attacked Kaden, and one attacked the mountain village. Kaden drove the car in. He called his wife's name a few times but got no response. Then, he ignited the combustibles to interfere with the drone's judgment. The two of them worked together to shoot down the drone. Unexpectedly, Draven, who had just lifted the crisis, pointed the gun at Kaden. Just when Kaden thought he was doomed, the appearance of his wife saved his life. Then, he took his wife to the dock, and Kane came looking for them. However, Kane never expected that he himself also showed symptoms of the drug taking effect. It turned out that at that time Kaden found the pilot who died at Kane's door, concluded that he died of some kind of poison, so while he was not in the hotel, he secretly replaced the medicine. The real poison was actually in his hand. While Kane was going to the bathroom, he mixed the poison in his hand. At this time, Kane took out the antidote, but Kaden snatched it away. This is the end of this film. See you in the next video. Bye.